Hello, everyone.
Welcome back.
We are here today at the
Edmonton Christmas Market.
woo woo. We're getting festive.
First day of December.
Mm-hmm.
No snow.
No snow.
Jinx.
Perfect.
Surprisingly, no snow. This is I think the first time since 2008 that Edmonton has ever been to December 1st without snow.
Which is kind of sad, but honestly, I'm not mad at it at this particular moment because I don't really like snow and I don't like being outside. I like snow, but I don't like being outside with snow. So
it's a really great day for Rochelle to be outside because there's no snow. Because I think it makes it colder.
I think it does too.
I feel like
then your feet get cold and
And if your extremities are cold, the rest of you is cold. Your fingers and toes, very important to keep them warm.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. But anyway, back to our point.
Yes.
Edmonton Christmas Market. We're so excited. Mm-hmm. Let's go check it out. Hey everyone, welcome back. We are here today at the Edmonton Christmas Market with Kirsta Frankie. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Awesome. I'm great, thank you. We are so excited to be here. So we will just start with you telling us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Kirsta Frankie. I'm a born and raised Edmontonian. I've lived here my whole life. Started my business, Wild Heart Collective, in 2012. And that business was started really on a happy accident. I was working at a local restaurant at the time, and we wanted to create vibrancy for the 124th Street neighborhood. So I started a farmer's market, and fast forward to about 12 years later, here we are today, and we're working with a collective of over 600 brands across the province and doing a bunch of different market activations, festivals, and events across the region as well.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah.
So what was that process like of changing from working at a local restaurant to owning a business, running and operating something?
So my background is actually communications. That's what I went to school for. And, I had hopes to be in broadcast journalism or marketing in some version of that. But really my passion was rooted in community and just making sure that we had a platform for small to medium-sized businesses or folks who are local farmers or local vendors to just be able to have a platform to sell their wares and get exposure for what they're trying to do. So when we started the market, I was managing a restaurant. I was trying to pay off my student loans like anyone else in school, and had no business experience other than working in local businesses for other entrepreneurs. So I somehow became an entrepreneur myself by saying, okay, I'm going to start this farmer's market, and it grew into this really big and beautiful thing. We started with 18 vendors on the street in 2012, and 2,500 people came that night alone. And then it grew to being, we have over 120 market days a year now. We have 600 plus brands that work with us, and we have a variety of other products that really help these small to medium-sized entrepreneurs, again, provide them a platform to connect with consumers. So Edmonton Christmas Market is one of those things.
And where does your passion for support... words, sorry. Where does your passion for supporting local come from?
My passion for supporting local comes from just like being deeply rooted in Edmonton, being a cheerleader for this city for such a long time. I mean, a lot of my friends left to whatever they called greener pastures and tried to start something new in different cities. And I just really wanted to make this the space that I wanted to grow up in, raise my family in, which I'm doing now, and just be able to love the city that I grew up in the same way. So it's a great place to be and live. It's a great place to leave and have a vacation and come back to. But the people here, the communities that we have built, grassroots and more broadly, it's so special to be a part of.
That's so beautiful to hear, because we also grew up in Edmonton, but I think sometimes, depending on your experience, you might be very one way in thinking of like, these are the only things I've experienced while living here, so this is how it is. Yeah. But going to markets and like supporting local businesses, you're really able to diversify your life and learn a lot more about other people and other stories and get more involved in the community as well.
And part of it too has been like, I wanted to create a vibrant city to live in, right? So through festivals, through activations like the market, through being able to come to a venue like Fort Edmonton Park in the wintertime where it's not normally programmed, we've been able to create new and unique opportunities, again, for any of our vendors and businesses we work with to connect to consumers in a different way. And you'll see the magic that lights up on our site this evening. We've done a lot of special stuff here, and it's a labor of love, truly it is. But some of it's also been from traveling and taking pieces of other cities that I wanted to bring back here and have people also be able to experience. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And so specifically the Edmonton Christmas Market, was it just the fact that there were not many winter festivals, or what was the idea behind doing a Christmas market?
So we have humble beginnings with the Edmonton Christmas Market. We started at the Roxy Theatre on 124th Street in 2014. So again, 40 vendors, we stacked aisles and stages, and we're just creating something small and fun for the community, but saw thousands of patrons come out and they want something like that. So since 2014, we've really been building to where we are now today. So if you look at where we started, to where we are, we have over 300 brands that you can experience right on this 2.5 kilometer long site at Fort Edmonton Park. We have 8 different venues that we're activating with different experiences, whether it be an indoor market hall or the outdoor market huts, as well as all of the food and beverage experiences across the park. And yeah, really what we're trying to do this year alone is bring 60,000 people through the park. So starting from where we are to where we are today, I would say, we've exponentially grown what we're trying to do, and vendors and customers see that. So they've been really great to support that. And especially during the holidays, like, we need to ensure that we're supporting our smallest businesses first and foremost. There's been a lot of closures recently for small businesses, or even small vendors who are really considered micro businesses too, right? They're in their own little world and sphere. So we try and work with them through programming, through constant communication and connection, and really coach these brands when we're working with them in any of the kind of settings for our markets and experiences.
And so I'm assuming there's been a lot of learning since beginning your business. What insights or discoveries have you gained since first opening back in 2012?
Don't take no for an answer.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that, in this line of work, again, as I said, it's a labor of love. It's not easy. You're going to get a lot of no's. You're going to get a lot of pushback, especially being a female entrepreneur. I found that there's already barriers there. So the way that I've tried to shift that is also encourage and support other female entrepreneurs in this industry to ensure that they feel supported and are able to go out there and try and make a go of this business, right? No one really held my hand or mentored me to where I am today. It was a lot of try and fail and try again and maybe succeed. So a big piece of my learning is also meaningful failure. I take every failure as an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to grow.
That's so inspirational. And so, I'm assuming, as you're saying, every failure is a learning experience. What maybe mindset or what kind of things do you do in order to keep that resilience? Like, what keeps you moving forward even when times are tough?
I think it's the community that we work with that really keeps me moving forward, because if you were to remove what we do, there would probably be a pretty large gap. I'm not saying there's not other market operators or other festivals or events, but I think the work that we do is quite impactful in terms of people's bottom lines, in terms of how they make money and where they want to participate in these events. You know, they're spending money to be here with us just as we're spending money to produce this large festival. So they're investing in us and we're investing in them, and we need customers to also invest in everything we're doing to keep that happening. But here's a great example. Last year we had 3 weeks at Fort Edmonton Park. We had at least 6 days out of those 3 weeks that were below -30. And we had blizzards. And this year we're here, there's not a dust of snow. We have some very great weather because it's El Nino. But you know, we've been able to do something different on this site this year, and we have new challenges. So there's always going to be new challenges, whatever endeavor you're looking at. And it's about rolling with the punches, really, too.
For sure.
Yeah.
And what would you say has been the biggest challenge so far since starting your business?
A lot of challenges. I think, you know, this is a space, the events industry, the markets industry, it attracts a hardy kind of folk to what we're doing. It's long hours. It's sometimes, you know, you're knocking your head against a wall trying to figure out how do I get through this. There's a lot of roadblocks already. Red tape is another one. You know, you have to work with regulatory bodies. You have to work with folks in the industry to make sure that you're doing everything above board. So I think starting and growing from a place where we never also had anyone invest in us financially, like everything I have built, every penny I have invested in this business, I invested in myself as well. So it's really believing in yourself, I think, is another big one. Believing and investing in what you want to do and how you want to do it, and at least having a good idea of your core values as a person to continue with that.
And I think that's great as a message being sent to anyone who maybe needs to hear it, you know, because as you were saying, being a female entrepreneur or being any type of entrepreneur times can be tough and it'll be hard, but seeing you and your success can be inspiration for someone else of like, hey, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Not like anyone, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think anyone should try.
Exactly.
If you want to be in this line of work, you should try. Like I tried to start a farmer's market and it worked. And I've tried a Christmas product, Edmonton Christmas Market at Fort Edmonton Park, and it's worked. People like it, they're coming, they're attending, they're year over year. So you don't know if you don't try, right?
Absolutely. And so on the flip side of the challenges, what would you say is the most rewarding part of the work that you do?
Oh, absolutely, hands down, the team and the people that we get to work with every day. Like just seeing successful stories from market vendors or brands that we work with, seeing new entrepreneurs emerging, whether they're from a cultural space or they're newcomers to the city, and being able to feel supported and grow their business with us. That is like, I have chills just talking about that because it's been a really tough couple of years for people, especially in the events industry. Like we almost lost our business, and that's the reality of it. So we're still climbing out of what happened between 2020 and 2022, very much so, alongside a lot of folks who have decided to try and stay. So, you know, being resilient in this line of work, being resilient in, you know, entrepreneurship is very, very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so Edmonton Christmas Market specifically, what can people expect if they were to attend?
There's so much magic happening on this site this year. So we've just doubled up on everything. The past couple of years have been a test of what we can do, and I think this year's really, we're putting that test in front of people. So really, once you come through the gates of admission, we have 2.5 kilometers of program sites. So thousands and thousands of twinkling lights in our light displays. We have the streetcar and the carousel and horse-drawn wagon rides to get people back and forth between all the different sites. You know, you can be walking along 1920 Street discovering things inside of our market huts that are outdoors and our vendors that are placed in those areas. We've activated all of these really great venues as well, like these very great landmarks, historical landmarks across the park. So the Blatchford Market Hangar the Blatchford Hangar we've turned into our market hangar, which has hundreds of vendors inside there. We have placed vendors in, you know, found spaces across the park as well, so transforming these other venues into now market huts. On the midway in the blue and yellow tent, we have live performances, a food and beverage hall over there. And just alone on the park this year, we have 180 live performances from local musicians and local talent right here in our region, which is pretty spectacular. Another piece to that is we're working with some really great restaurants to do some on-site food and beverage activations. So Woodshed Burgers, much loved on 124th Street. So they're doing they have a food truck on site, they have a restaurant on site. Three Vikings restaurant is on site with us too. They're on 124th Street, but they're here with us for the term, and they're providing, Nordic style food kind of throughout the duration of the event. We have winterized food trucks. We have container bars and areas where folks can find hot mulled wine and mulled cider. So there's so much to discover, I think, in terms of our food and beverage program too, that is elevated from really the last few years as well. And then on top of that, I think we have the Capitol Theatre. So the Capitol Theatre has three main plays and theater performances that are going to be activated the whole 3 weeks as well.
Oh my goodness.
So folks can come and take in a show. They can, and that also gets them into the park and admission into the park. But we have some really, really great live performances that are happening throughout the series of our programming.
So it is not just a market. You're not just coming to shop. You're coming to eat and take beautiful Christmas pictures with the twinkling lights, seeing a show, getting together with friends, family, connecting with the community, really. Like
100%.
You have a lot of options.
Yeah, and connecting with the community, and again, just a place to unite our makers and our consumers, right? And that's a really special time around the holidays, but we also want people to enjoy it. We don't want people to just walk into a venue and shop. We want people to enjoy their time, because also spending more time on site means they'll spend more money with the local brands that we are here to support.
Yeah, as opposed to walking through like WEM, and supporting huge, large corporations, you're meeting the face behind those businesses too, which I think is so cool and so important, because when you're supporting local, you're supporting that person specifically and their dreams and their goals and their aspirations, which is so nice.
It's more than nice. It's beyond, like, every penny matters to their bottom line. So they are not just the people who are selling their products in front of you and talking to them about their story, but they're spending hours and countless amounts of time before they even get here to make sure they have enough product to sell. So it's not just a 3-week activation for them or a 3-week long market. It is 3 months of planning. And for us, we started planning this event from the moment we closed our doors last year to make sure that we were meeting customer expectations. We were working with our vendors to provide a bigger and better product every year. And that's, I think, a learning over the 12 years we've run this business too. It's like not always be closing, but always be trying harder than you tried before to make it better, right? So always make it better than what it was before.
For sure. And I think with that, there's a lot of work, not only for the local businesses that's going into this, but for you as well. Like, I feel like there must be 1,000,001 things on your to-do list all the time when it comes to stuff like this.
Definitely, and it's about triage, right? Like, I think if I would give any advice to any entrepreneur, it'd be like, do not focus on the longest list of to-dos that you have. Like, focus on the 3 to 4 things on that day that are going to be the most impactful. So you really need to look at how you're going to be really looking at what's important that day. I'm a new mom. I have an 18-month-old at home. So, I mean, not new, but it's been a really big learning. This 18 months of trying to balance entrepreneurship and being a stay-at-home mom and primary caregiver for the first 12 months of her life was quite difficult, but so rewarding in a different way. And I really want to show her that she can do anything. I want to show a strong mentor in what I'm trying to do here, even though it's hard and difficult, that she knows that she can do anything she wants to do if she just wants to try, right?
Oh, that's amazing. You sound like such a good mom. I love that.
Well, she doesn't get it yet, but hopefully she will down the line. One day. So it's quite important to just ensure that we're instilling those sorts of skills and that kind of thinking in my daughter, and if we have any other future children, but we'll see. It's been a lot to juggle.
Between a baby and a business, you have your hands full for sure.
Yeah, and the business was my first baby, right? So that had to move over for a real physical human that came into this world that I had to take care of. And but I mean, I love what I do. I am a career person, and I don't know what I would be doing if I wasn't doing this, truly. I think about that all the time, and I could never put myself into like one lane or one realm of focus, because in my job, I might have a list of 1,000 things to do, but I get to work with the greatest team in the world to be able to tackle those things with them too.
And I think too, it really speaks volume how passionate you are just speaking to me about this, you know, and all the time and effort that goes into this, and the way your business is supporting other people and other entrepreneurs and supporting Edmonton and the community in general. Like, it's amazing. So pat on the back for you. That's
Thank you.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And I mean, a baby, a business, and to my knowledge, you also volunteer.
Yes.
Can you speak a bit about that as well?
Yeah, so I mean, just aligning with where I am in the community. I am the vice chair for the North Edge Business Association, which represents almost 300 businesses in the community of North Edge, just on the outskirts of downtown, just behind Grant MacEwan University, where I went to school and I'm alumni from. But so I've been a part of that group for the last 3 years, and they do some really incredible work ensuring that there's economic impact and return for the businesses that are part of that neighborhood. So, we work on a lot of things as priorities from there, but it really is to support the businesses who have decided to try and make a go in that neighborhood. I am also part of the Roundtable for End Poverty Edmonton, and so we focus on tackling issues around houselessness and homelessness, livable wages, and trying to work on social procurement. So in terms of getting these small businesses that I work with at the forefront when people are making purchasing decisions or hiring locally, for example, to ensure that we're supporting the folks in our neighborhood that might be experiencing homelessness or might be experiencing joblessness. So that's another big important part. Another thing is I am a former co-chair of the Edmonton Food Council, so I've been a part of that group. I was a part of that group for about a decade, and that's really also where I feel like there was a lot of foundational components that came into my role and how Wild Heart Collective was formed and grown, and how I've been able to work with entrepreneurs specifically in the food space to be able to try and help them get into retail, get past the 10 by 10 market stall, for example, and provide a suite of programs and supports that really allow them to think above and beyond just being at a farmer's market too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So do you ever have a day off?
No. Well, you're catching me on day like 21 without a day off, but maybe on Tuesday.
Nice. Maybe Tuesday.
Maybe
You're
Tuesday.
almost there.
But yeah, no, I mean, I'm going to take some time away in January, actually, because it'll be my first amount of time off that's not like mat leave, because that's not also time off, even though people think that it's a vacation. It absolutely
it is not
isn't.
a vacation.
So January is kind of going to be a really good time for me to go back to taking a look at what my core values are as a business. And there's a lot that's changed in the last couple of years, and it's just been, sometimes you react and sometimes you can be proactive and plan. And so I just want to sit back for the next month of January and be able to really take a look and like full view of what I want to do as my list of priorities for the next couple of years.
And so speaking of your business specifically, where do you see it, let's say, in the next 5 years or so?
Oof. So I used to live and die by 5-year plans. I will tell you that right now. Again, when COVID happened, when 2020 happened, that really yoinked the rug from under us. We were set to have our biggest year yet as an events and festival company, and everything closed down. So we were lucky enough to be able, because we run markets and public markets in the city, to be able to continue running as an essential business for some of those things. But a lot of the work we did in the community for festivals or events were kind of just bulldozed at that point. Yeah. So I'm trying to live in the moment on a 1 to 2 year plan right now. I do see myself maybe having another kid, and I think that'll just add to the chaos, but it'll be good chaos. I see myself trying to really refocus the business and make sure that we're supporting the folks who need it most, and work more in the community than just focusing on larger priorities, if that makes any sense. Like, I really think the work that we do grassroots, the work that we do working with the municipality and some of the smaller businesses here is very impactful. So I'd like to just make sure we get to the heart of what that looks like for the next couple of years. But yeah, and maybe some time off here and there.
maybe a day off or so, or a whole weekend.
Yeah,
perhaps.
But I do see us growing. I mean, as I mentioned before, we have 120 market days a year right now. That's a big part of what we do, but we're continuing to try and build new products through Wild Heart and through the platforms that we have here. So Edmonton Christmas Market being one of those, the 124 Grand Market being another one that we started in 2012. So we started a series called the Public Night Markets too, which have been incredibly successful. So I think it's just trying to focus on what is a new product, what do consumers want, and that in turn will help our vendors be successful at any of those events and activations as well.
And so if there was something that you could tell people or something you wish people knew about Wild Heart Collective, what would that be?
We are 90% a female-run company.
Yay!
And I think that is, you know, we are powered by some strong women doing incredible things. And again, I am just one person. I would not be able to do what I do without a community of creatives behind me. And these folks, like, honestly, I've had one of our staffers with us since 2014 and she hasn't left. And, you know, there are a few gentlemen on our team, but really when we're hiring, it's hiring for great personality fits, people who are passionate in the same way that I am about supporting others. And it's just really, it's rippled through the company in a great way, but we're 90% female dominated team. So
all the more reason to support.
Yeah.
Women supporting women, you know?
Exactly, women supporting women. And also we've had team members who, you know, go on to start their own businesses from this too, which is so incredible to see. So yeah, absolutely. Even our team on site here at Christmas Market, you're going to see a lot of our core team and leadership is female, so, or identifies as female. Yeah.
Girls run the world.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then my last question here,
Sure.
It doesn't have to be specific to your business or any of the multiple things that you do, but what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Oh my goodness.
Sorry, it's a hard one.
I saw that one on your list of questions and I was like racking my brain about it. How do I put this? I've had a lot of bad mentors who have made me realize the type of mentor or the type of business owner I want to be. And so it's not one sentiment or one piece of advice, but I think it is, again, taking everything that you're learning and using that as an opportunity to be better and do better. So, you know, there's been good mentors, there's been bad mentors, but really listening to your gut and your intuition in terms of how you want to be and how you want to act in your business is really important. And in the same way, I was just telling my team earlier today when we were having a team huddle, I was like, it's okay to say no. I don't take no for an answer, but it's okay to say no. And so I've learned boundaries, especially in the last 18 months, having a kid, that I need to learn to say no a little more. And that's some advice that's continued to be given to me by a coach that I'm working with right now. So it's okay to say no.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
That has been a lesson I've had to learn in my life as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And that also all reminds me of when I was in school, we were told to take what works for you and throw the rest away. So it's like exactly what you're speaking about with bad mentors, like take everything someone has to give you, but if it isn't working with your values, with what you want out of the situation, you don't actually have to do it. Like no one is saying there's only one way to succeed, there's only one way to get somewhere. You can absolutely take your time and your own path because we're all on a different one.
Yeah.
So
we're all in a different trajectory when it comes to timing too. So that's the other thing. It's like balancing entrepreneurship and being a mom. People assume that you're still going to be able to do both very well. Some days I feel like a bad mom and a great entrepreneur, and other days I feel like a bad entrepreneur and a really great mom. So it is about balance and about finding what works for you. And you know, with time, I do think we can have it all, and we should be able to have it all. Will it happen overnight? No. So you have to lessen those expectations a little bit and just know that you can work towards that if you're willing to grow and take a little more time to get there.
absolutely, giving yourself that time, and also maybe at times steering away from the evaluative part of yourself that's like, I'm doing this poorly or I'm doing this really great. It's like, this is what I can give at the moment. So today that's good enough. You know?
And it also it's not about pleasing. I used to, because I work in the event space, I am very much a people pleaser. but it's not about pleasing everyone. Some people, you're never going to meet their expectations. So I've really started to be more reflective and just meet my own expectations of myself in the last little bit too, which I think has been really helpful to just kind of cut out the noise of everything else happening around you, because that can be very distracting as well.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us.
So we just came back from the Christmas market. We forgot the video again altogether, but Bridget and Rochelle already dropped me off. Anyways, my thoughts, very cute, very festive, a little weird without snow right now, but regardless, very winter wonderland-esque. I think it's a great place to bring your families or dates or friends, and there's plenty of places to get your Christmas shopping done and little cafes and treats and stuff, so you definitely should check it out.
Hey,
Hello everyone. Sorry. Do you want me to hold it?
Maybe.
Hi everyone.
Welcome back. We just finished up at the Christmas market.
Yes.
We dropped Sahar at home already because we forgot about our wrap-up video, but here's our wrap-up video.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Honestly, it was chilly, but not as chilly as it could be December 1st. So,
Very
love
grateful
that.
for that. Dress warm if you go. Bring lots of Christmas spirit and a phone with a full battery because you're going to take so many pictures. Yeah. Delicious food. Very nice vendors and people. And Yeah,
And a lot
carousel
of-
rides,
yeah.
sleigh rides.
And a lot of cool things to buy too, like in the market. The actual market's gorgeous, so big.
Very
Everyone was
unique
very
stuff.
nice. Yeah,
Everyone was
for
so
sure.
nice. Yeah. Check it out.
Check it out.